Hey guys, I'm back with another WWE NXT review. This time for April 11th, 2012. Now, I missed two NXTs because my microphone messed up and I got a new one. And this is a brand new microphone, so if it sounds louder than usual, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get used to it. Alright, but let's get to the action because tonight we had a great show from NXT. Well, not a great show, but a really, really fucking good one. Okay, we start out with the crowd cheering, and here's the funny thing. We got a lot in this first match. The crowd cheers, and as soon as Percy Watson's theme starts up, his entrance music, boom, dead silence. And that was really noticeable to me because damn, it was bad. Percy Watson comes in and he's about to face Johnny Curtis, and Maxine is entering with Curtis. Immediately Percy Watson gets upset. He grabs a microphone and says, "Hey, every time you come here you always mess up the person's match, so why don't you just get lost?" And that's when Regal steps in and says, "I know you're upset and you have good reason, so Maxine, you can't get close to the ring, alright?" And then the match starts, and this was a really cool match because, like I said, when Percy Watson, Showtime Percy Watson, mind you, first comes out, there is dead silence, like no one gives a damn. However, Percy Watson keeps busting out super athletic move after athletic moves, awesome drop kicks, awesome arm drags and hip tosses, and he just keeps performing so well that the crowd actually starts to rally behind him. And when Curtis gets him in a hold, they start clapping, and you even got to hear a Percy, Percy, Percy chants. That's freaking cool. My NXT dudes are starting to get up in the chain. Now, this was a pretty cool match. The only problem was there was a major distraction from the commentary because apparently Maxine had something to say to Mr. Regal, and Mr. Regal stopped commentating and eventually walked off. Now, right when Percy Watson was going to do a signature move, the Showtime Splash, he noticed William Regal leaving, and he was all like, "What the H, you know? Mr. Regal's living with Maxine? What's up with that?" That's when Curtis surprises him with the roll-up and wins the match. But however, Percy Watson did look really good in this match. He was shiny. He was so shiny, the crowd who met him first with dead silence got to his side during the match. That's pretty cool. You gotta admit, that is impressive. Props to Showtime Percy Watson. After that, we get backstage segment with Reks Hawkins and Tyler Reks and Maxine. Last week, I know I didn't review last week's NXT, so I'll just let you know. Hawkins and Reks were the ones who abducted Matt Striker. And Maxine wants him back so she could use him, but they tell her, if you want Striker back, and if you don't want anyone to know that you and Curtis chloroformed him, then you're going to have to get rid of Mr. Regal. And she said she talked to Mr. Regal, and she says, "Oh, I want Striker back," and they say, "No, until Regal's gone, you ain't getting Striker." And they do a bunch of funny little puns about janitor-based puns, like they swept him and he's been all mopped up. And the backstage segment continues when Maxine decides to go cry to Bateman and Caitlyn, and she cries to Derek Bateman to please find Hawkins and Reks because they're harassing her or whatever. Then we go to commercial, and when we come back to commercials, we get another backstage segment with Titus O'Neil and Tamina. Now, this one is not as funny, but it is still interesting in an odd way. Titus wants to, get fresh with Tamina, and Tamina's like, I ain't having any of it. And then Titus is like, "Hey, I'm a good guy, relax. Here, I gave you a gift. It's a coconut tree." Now, you don't actually see the damn tree. All you see is a pot with dirt in it, so I don't even know if there's a tree in there. But she says, "Oh, that's sweet, thank you." And then she walks off, and there's Darren Young. Darren Young's like, "Where'd you get the coconut tree?" And which surprised the hell out of me. How the hell did he know it was a coconut tree? Was he hearing that entire thing? He must have if he was just a few feet away. Jeez. Great continuity, guys. That's when Tamina says, "Oh, I got it from Titus." And Darren Young's like, "Hey, man, what the hell? You're supposed to be my wingman. Come on." And Titus is like, "Hey, man, you know what? I don't even really care that much about Tamina because I'm happily married with kids and junk. You know, I'm just trying to, put the moves on her to prove a point." He's like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" "That I'm better than you, bitch." "Oh yeah, Well, he doesn't say bitch, but he does do the like his little move things, stupid noises. Anyway, and then we cut to Caitlyn with Bateman backstage still, and Caitlyn said something really fucking stupid. She's like, "Do you miss the good old days of NXT when it was about talk the mic challenges and all those little things?" And Derek Bateman gives the correct answer and says no. He does not miss the so-called good old days with all the stupid little challenges or whatever. God, do you not like actually wrestling? Well, I guess not. Jeez. Anyway, they actually do find Stryker in a storage closet, and they say, "Hey, we'll help you. We'll go talk to Mr. Regal." And Stryker's all like, "No, I'll do this myself." I don't know why I just did that impression of that Matrix dude. His name is escaping. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We get to a Raw recap of Brock Lesnar and John Cena, which, as you all know by now, is my least favorite part of NXT. Because, as you know, we have to devote 10 minutes to whatever we already saw on Raw. Come on, guys. You could have put in another match. I could have seen Yoshitatsu, win a match. I'll get to Lord Tensai later if he ever comes on NXT. I'll rip him a new asshole. But that's not about that. It's about NXT. NXT, we cut back after commercials to another backstage segment again. It just keeps going with Hawkins and Reks and Mr. Regal. Now, apparently Hawkins lost his cane. Stryker has it, but he doesn't know that. Regal comes up to him and says, "Hey, Stryker's been missing. And if I find out that you two did anything to him, you will pay. Alright?" And Hawkins and Reks like, "Hey man, relax. You know what? We'll go find him for you. We'll just talk to the roster and we'll get him back safe and sound." Regal walks off and they're panicking. They're like, shit, what are we gonna do? And then Hawkins is like, "Hey man, let's go grab Stryker, bring him to Regal, and frame Maxine and Curtis." And Reks is like, "Hell yeah, broski, let's go do that." So they go do that, but as you know, fucking Stryker left already. So now they're panicking and they're pissed off at Curtis and Maxine, and they walk off, and now the plot thickens. Or thins, I'm not sure which one it is. Afterwards, we come to our main event, Michael McGillicuddy versus Tyson Kidd for a third time. Afterward, before the match starts, they show a video package of their little feud or whatever. And I know it sounds like I'm kind of sick of this feud already, even though it just started, 3 matches. But I am so not. Because really, I thought Michael McGillicuddy was going to be a bland, no character jobber for like a long time. I had no faith in him. There was nothing in his future. Bleh. WWE was going to get rid of this guy, and then he was going to be a footnote over on TNA or whatever. But that's not the case. In fact, it's much better. Check it out. Michael McGillicuddy and Tyson Kidd have a good, solid match, a solid main event match here on NXT. And Tyson Kidd, always impressive, always great to see in the ring. Tyson Kidd, he's okay on talking. He's not that great. He can talk, but he can't talk very well. But in the ring, my God, this kid is amazing. He does everything. He does everything, and he's always innovative. Boom. He keeps busting out innovative moves, innovative offense in this match, and McGillicuddy's not that far behind him. You know, he doesn't wrestle the way Kid does at all, but he still busts out some interesting moves, you know? And bam, there's one part in the match where McGillicuddy actually just bashes Kid in the back of the head with his forearm. And it's like, oof. You know, people don't do that, you know? Not in WWE. They don't normally do that, but bam! McGillicuddy just nails him. And Regal, interesting commentary from Regal. Regal says McGillicuddy's like stalking Kid the way like a lion stalks his prey. And I thought that was kind of interesting since there are like claws on McGillicuddy's tights, so I guess that's where he got it from. And oh, McGillicuddy gets heat. That's right, McGillicuddy gets actual legitimate heat for putting Kid in the sharpshooter. At one point in the match, McGillicuddy puts Kid in the sharpshooter, and it's like, and people immediately start booing him, cause that's a dick move. That's a dick move in wrestling. You can't just use the other guy's finisher on him. But Kid gets out of it. McGillicuddy beats him a little bit more, and then McGillicuddy. It looks like McGillicuddy is going for the perfect plex. Now, for those who don't know, Michael McGillicuddy, his real name is Joe Hennig, son of Kurt Hennig, WWE legend and Hall of Famer, Mr. Perfect. So it looks like McGillicuddy's going to put Kid away in his dad's finishing move, the perfect plex. But that's when Tyson Kidd counters, and it looks like he's going to put him on the sharpshooter, but instead he puts him in like this sharpshooter headlock. It's like the Hell's Gate submission or something. I don't know. It was like he tied up his legs like in a sharpshooter, but then he grabbed McGillicuddy's head and arches back, and McGillicuddy immediately taps out, and it was like, wow! I did not see that coming. Tyson Kidd, always innovative, always evolving in the ring, busts out a brand new finishing move that he invented from the sharpshooter. Awesome! Big props to Tyson Kidd. Check out, if you're a fan of wrestling, watching people wrestle, check out this match because Kidd busts out brand new moves. Kid, I'm noticing, I got my eyes on you, Kid, and McGillicuddy's not too far away. And that's about it. Overall, this was a good show, good points. There were great matches. You know, Showtime Percy Watson, athletic, always cool to watch, and Kid and McGillicuddy busting out brand new moves no one's ever seen. I got lots of screen time with my boys, Hawkins and Reks. And the plot thickens. Looks like their storyline is going to percolate and hit the big climax in either next week or the week after. But since this is WWE, it's probably going to be the week after. However, not everything was super great. After all, there were only 2 matches. NXT, there's usually about 3. But we lost one due to all the backstage segments. But it wasn't that bad since all the backstage segments, well, most of them, did have Hawkins and Reks, and they're always a hoot to watch. And, of course, we're stuck with another fucking Raw recap that I hate. We saw Raw, okay? I'm not watching NXT to watch Raw again. I'm watching NXT to watch NXT. You know what? I think I'll go as far to say that NXT is probably, because of this show, it's probably one of my favorite WWE shows. You know what? It is my favorite WWE show. I look forward to NXT every week. That's right. I went there. And if you don't like it, I got 2 words for you. You probably already know what they are. Well, that's it for me, and I'll see you again next week. # you should be watching.